This is a $1,200 aftermarket Bitubo rear shock. And this is the stock shock that came standard on my Yamaha R1. And it sells for around $200 secondhand on eBay. But just because this one costs 6 times more, does that make it 6 times better? Because on the surface, these two shocks are actually pretty similar.
They both have adjustable preload. They both have adjustable compression and rebound damping. They both have external reservoirs, they both have ride height adjustment, and they're both serviceable.
So do people just upgrade their suspension for cool points? Well, today I'm going to swap out these two shocks and test ride them back to back to see how big the difference really is out on the road. So I kind of ended up with this fancy Bitubo race shock by accident.
A few months back, I bought my dream bike, this Yamaha R1. But there was a catch. It was a track bike at the time. But since it was pretty cheap and came with all the road kit, I jumped at the opportunity to turn it back into a street bike.
And as a byproduct of being a pretty serious track bike, it just happened to come with Bitubo race suspension front and back.
The front suspension is actually 4 cartridges inside the original sliders and stanchions, but the rear is an entire replacement shock.
Now, I was lucky enough to also get the stock suspension with the bike, and at first I was planning to revert the bike back to stock suspension since I'm not a track bro and not nearly talented enough to justify pro suspension. But you guys were adamant that Bitubo make really good suspension and that I would be silly to get rid of it.
So for the last 4 months, I've been riding with the Bitubo suspension, and the front forks are stiff but good. I get along with them pretty well, but I've never fallen in love with the rear shock.
But the other day something occurred to me. I've never been lucky enough to have such good aftermarket suspension, let alone have aftermarket suspension and stock suspension for the same bike in the same room to test back to back. Unfortunately, that's easier said than done with the forks since they're cartridges, so it would be pretty tricky and messy to just quickly swap them over. But a shock, on the other hand, just bolts into place. So I'd be silly not to live out my expensive suspension fantasies, right? So let's go for a ride, get a baseline for this shock, and I'll tell you about my experience with it.
A shock's job is ultimately to keep the rear tire in contact with the ground at all times. This means absorbing any surface irregularities, and if done properly, this offers peak traction during acceleration, cornering, and braking.
And I would argue that comfort is a byproduct of that in the case of a superbike. But to some extent, comfort will fatigue a rider less, so there is some value in comfort, I guess.
I guess we need to test what this shock feels like in those scenarios then, which isn't too difficult since I'd never shy away from a few hard launches, playing around on some corners, and putting my Japanese Brembos to work. Although it just so happened that I chose the worst day for it. Luckily, I've spent the last 4 months on this shock then.
So suspension can be incredibly complicated, and I don't pretend for a second that I understand it, nor do I even know what I need. But this is an opportunity for me to learn more.
Nevertheless, here are my opinions of the Bitubo shock, both from today and the last 4 months.
The Bitubo shock is insanely rigid for me, often to the detriment of handling. It doesn't seem to compress much at all when I climb on it, and it doesn't even seem to squat much or compress under acceleration. So this often results in the front wheel lifting or head shake. And over bumps, it feels more like a pogo stick by how quickly it rebounds and how violently it does that. Probably better described as recoil than rebound.
And here are the 2 reasons I think this is the case.
For starters, this obviously doesn't mean that the shock is bad. Like I said, This suspension is far better than I can ride. It just means that it is set up wrong for me. According to the shop that I collected this bike from, the previous rider is about 15 to 20 kilograms heavier than I am. So this spring is definitely too stiff for me. Secondly, this shock will obviously be set up for the racetrack, where your accelerating, braking and cornering forces will just naturally be a lot higher than they are on the street. The surface of a racetrack is also a lot more smooth than the street, and I only ride this on the street. And I have tried to fix that to some extent, but the freeway. A race shop softened the preload for me, and they also fiddled with the compression and rebound clickers, which did make a substantial difference. But I think that there is a limit that you can achieve with the wrong spring.
So I headed back to the workshop to essentially downgrade my bike.
Since my bike doesn't have the giant catalytic converter underneath it anymore, I think I'll be able to take the shock out without completely removing the swing arm. At least I really hope that's the case, because I had to install a swing arm on my CBR the other day for the first time ever, and it was a pain in the ass.
I may have cheated and watched a YouTube video beforehand, but once I had the rear wheel off and the exhaust out of the way so that the swing arm is easier to wiggle around, I had to get the weight of the bike off of the paddock stand. Then I could loosen the top linkage bolt and move it out of the way to access the bottom shock bolt. Then all that was left to do was remove the top shock bolt, but after a lot of wiggling.
And here it is. Now, I know there's probably going to be a lot of backlash for even suggesting that a stock shock could be better in any conceivable way, and that I'm just an idiot for not setting this one up properly. But that's what I want to learn. The average biker would probably know that an Öhlins shock, for example, is better than a stock R1 shock, but they couldn't tell you why. It's just better.
The difference between my Bitubo shock and a stock Yamaha MT-07 shock, for example, is drastic. The preload adjustment on the MT-07 shock has only a few settings, and each setting is a pretty big difference, whereas the Bitubo is a threaded adjustment with a wide range and minute adjustments are possible. The Bitubo has an external reservoir. There is no compression or rebound damping adjustment on the MT-07 shock, and the MT-07 shock cannot be open to be serviced, whereas the Bitubo can be. Meaning, if the MT-07 shock starts to leak, you have to buy a whole new one.
But the difference between the stock R1 shock and the Bitubo shock aren't quite as drastic.
The stock R1 shock also has threaded preload adjustment. It also has a remote reservoir. It's also serviceable. It also has adjustable compression and rebound damping. They both have a way to change the length of the shock, slightly changing the bike's ride height.
But most surprisingly, this specific Bitubo shock is starting to get a bit long in the tooth, so it's on sale currently for almost $1,000. And if you were to buy a brand new replacement stock shock from Yamaha, it would cost $893. So technically at the moment, they're not that different price-wise either.
And the Bitubo doesn't really count as expensive, since an Öhlins shock is $1,500.
So the stock shock seems to have everything that you'll need. The truth is that superbikes are top of the line, so they're forced to come with decent suspension. And yet, everyone will tell you that aftermarket is better than stock. And it is, but at this level, it's marginal gains. Nothing quite as drastic as upgrading an MT-07 shock, for example. But here is what is supposed to be different. Aftermarket shocks typically offer more damping adjustment, so they'll have more clicks with smaller differences between settings so that you can really refine it. That's pretty handy for someone like Marc Marquez, but I probably can't even feel the difference between one click. An aftermarket shock will come with oil in a weight best suited to your riding from day one, whereas a stock shock will come with something down the middle to please everyone.
The obvious difference is manufacturing and material quality. I mean, you can see how much beefier, fancier and better made the Bitubo is. And I assume tighter tolerances and better manufacturing can lower friction or stiction. And it looks like the Bitubo has ride height adjustment on the top and bottom.
The biggest difference is just being able to get a spring rate that suits you. Think about it. A stock R1 shock needs to be able to accommodate everyone from a 60 kilogram rider all the way up to a 200 kilogram rider. And it needs to be able to do that on the street and the racetrack. And those are very different environments. That is a lot to ask from one shock. This Bitubo, on the other hand, has a spring perfectly suited to an 80 kilogram man, which isn't me, sadly. But of course, I could get one for me if needed. And I just realized that this has an Öhlins branded spring on it. Fascinating.
But surprisingly, the Bitubo is actually heavier than the stock shock.
Okay, so we're back out here again, but this time with the stock shock and on a much better day. The rain has moved on and we're left with a dry and grippy tarmac.
Honestly, I don't think this is a bad looking shock. It's far more understated than the Bitubo, but it is in much better condition.
Also, this shock is set up exactly how it would be from the factory. I haven't even set the preload for me.
But even so, right off the bat, it's very different. Normal, smooth surfaces feel the same as before, but when I get to a dip or bump in the road, it doesn't bounce me out of the seat. Instead, it soaks up the bump a lot more.
Obviously, it's still stiff in the grand scheme of things, especially compared to something like an MT-07 or anything less sporty. That is exactly what you want on a superbike. You want it to be stiff because that's how you get good handling.
In the corners, I can actually feel this shock slightly compress and even feel what the rear tire is doing a lot better. This way, it feels more familiar, on par with all the other sporty bikes I've owned and ridden, whereas before, it was too extreme.
What actually made me want to try stock suspension on my R1 was my CBR 1000. Riding that with stock suspension reminded me of what it actually felt like and how enjoyable stock suspension is on the street. So I thought I should give it a try on my R1.
But of course, we're not comparing apples with apples here. These two shocks are set up extremely differently, so you can't actually isolate which one is better at its job because they're operating on different planets. But all I can say is that on the street, stock is a better balance for me.
I haven't gotten any head shake today. It hasn't been shuddering under hard braking, and I haven't been bounced out of the seat over a bump even once. So boring. Okay, so the most interesting thing here, I think, is that previously, if I had found a second-hand Öhlins shock going cheap on Marketplace, for example, I would have considered buying it. And I would definitely have assumed that it would be better than my stock shock. The truth is that a stock shock is better than an expensive shock that isn't set up for you. Obviously, T's and C's apply. It depends on how bad your stock shock is to begin with. It depends on your weight and riding style. But for me, that was the case.
But am I going to keep the stock shock, or am I going to go back to the Bitubo? After all, when I had the Bitubo on track earlier this year, I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's where its stiffness is less of a hindrance.
Ultimately, there are too many options here. I could get the Bitubo set up for me, but considering that the stock shock is free and that I prefer it currently, it just makes more sense. And I also suspect that if these two shocks were set up identically, I still wouldn't be able to tell the difference, especially not on the street. I'm just an average rider. But one thing is for sure, I am not putting this Bitubo back on my bike with its current setup. My bike is a lot more fun to ride and I think safer with the stock shock. But anyway, it's been a lot of fun just experimenting with these two shocks. Not something I get to do every day. So let me know if you would spend the money to get this Bitubo set up, and I'll see you on the next ride.